Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Jaguars great Fred Taylor will break down today's game with highlights and analysis. Jaguars Postgame is brought to you by Farah and Farah, Baptist Health, and by TIAA Bank. Jaguars Postgame, presented by Florida Home AC, starts right now.
Welcome in, Jaguars postgame final score from New England. The Patriots over the Jaguars 50-10. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and pride of the Jaguars running back Fred Taylor joining us on the phone. We'll have the first word with interim head coach Darrell Bevell coming up. Fred, first off, good afternoon to you.
JP, what's up, baby?
Hey, hanging in
Big
there.
Mike.
Here we are.
Fred?
Yeah, after a Jaguars loss. And, well, I mean, going in, on paper, it was okay. Well, they got a lot of guys up from the practice squad. COVID-19 issues, still an NFL game, but this one played out just like the paper said. It was all New England all day, Fred.
Yeah, I think they were Jags were a 16.5-point underdog. At some point during the game, I got a text from Plexico Burris, living up in Jersey where gambling is legal. And he says, what the bleep, bleep, bleep is going on with the Jaguars? I don't know. That's why I don't bet. So you deal with it. But I think prior to the game in the pregame show, JP, I said I don't feel good about this one. When I'm optimistic, I don't just throw it out there when I'm rooting for them. The Patriots obviously were playing with a chip on their shoulder. They had lost 2 prior to this one, and the Jags were completely depleted with COVID. And a lot of guys out there just happy to be, in the NFL jersey getting playing time. So I figured this one was going to get ugly as it did.
Oh, it did, Fred. There's no question it got ugly. I mean, really, there's not a statistic you can point to that doesn't make you feel bad about this one. But how about this? The Jags had 11 first downs on the day. The Patriots ran for 16 first downs today.
Yeah.
Never mind the 15 they got through the air. I mean, that just tells the story of how they dominated time of possession. They outrushed the Jags by more than 100. They outgained them by well over 200. I mean, there's not an area you can point to and say, well, at least we did this.
Yeah, I think the only area, Mike, if I'm going to search for something, and I'm really digging deep as I can go in this bag, they gave up 2 sacks where they were missing 3 starters on the offensive front.
Yes.
And they've done that with all 5 starters. So if I'm going to give anybody credit today, I'm going to put in the makeshift line that was back there protecting Trevor as best as they could. He was pressured throughout the day. But to only have 2 sacks here on record, I think that's and like I said, I'm reaching, but I'm just reaching. And I'm going to stop talking now.
Well, in a game where they were forced to throw, they were going to have to throw it a bunch to try to catch back up.
Yeah, they still only threw it 27 times.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing, right? And to add the sacks, so they would have had just about 30 attempts on the day, under 30 attempts.
Digging deep, but that's what it is, 50-10. It's tied for the 3rd largest margin of defeat in franchise history. The late touchdown avoided it being the worst margin of defeat in franchise history today. The Patriots scored on 8 of 10 possessions. There was a punt and a kneel down, the other 2 possessions in this game. It was reminiscent of that 2015 trip to Foxborough where in that game the Patriots scored on 9 out of 10 possessions, the only one not scoring the kneel down at the end. Similar result today. All Patriots all day. So there are plenty of question marks moving ahead here, of course, Fred, with the roster. Who's going to be up and available? Who's coming back? Who's healthy? Who's not? COVID-19. Finally, it's now week 18. One more week to go.
I think the best thing here, JP, is, hopefully they just get whoever's available out there to play, finish this season. So, the front office can really dial into this roster. Well, first dial into who's going to coach the team. Get that locked in, and after that, being able to dial into the roster so they can fit the philosophy of the head coach who's going to be there. And really, JP, this season's been in the bag. A few other things I want to add in. The first pick, what they're going to do with the first pick. But I think all of that is going to get sorted out once they figure out who the head coach is. How valuable is that pick? What do we need? Who do we need to let go? What's going to be our identity going forward on both sides of the ball? because you have some 3-4 personnel that they brought in. Is it going to remain the same? What coaches are going to be retained? So much going on. So this last game that's coming up against the Colts, it's just a game. It's just a game. Nothing's at stake there. Just get it done, and let's get ready to look forward to next year.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Jaguars radio network. Final score, Patriots 50, Jaguars 10. Will return with plenty ahead on Jaguars postgame. Interim head coach Darrell Bevell will join us for the first word after the game, and much more ahead. Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
It's a force that can't be contained. Propelled by purpose, pride, and the power to protect. When winning isn't just the mission, it's your passion. You pursue it. You make power plays. You pick your team. At Farrah & Farrah, we deliver game day energy 24/7. Jacksonville.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain.
All right, do you want to start with an opening statement?
No, I'm good.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started with Culpepper.
Hey, Darrell, obviously not the kind of result you wanted today. Was there a point during the game where you considered setting Trevor down? And if not, is there a sort of a criteria in your mind where you think about, getting him out of the ballgame?
Yeah, there was a conversation there in the fourth quarter, just about, if we wanted to pull him out and give CJ an opportunity, but really some of these experiences that he's having are experiences that we think that he needs to go through, just to continue to get better. And we were able to put a drive there together, and we ended up scoring a touchdown. So it ended up working out in our favor. It was important that obviously that we protect them and do those things in that drive. But I thought it worked out okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Let's go to Mike DeRocco.
Darrell, what are you saying to the guys when they're in the middle of this game and it's gotten out of control that quickly, and you've dealt with all this stuff over COVID the past week?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest message for them, was, we had a lot of different guys playing, and guys were getting different opportunities, and a lot of these guys have fought really hard their careers to be able to get this moment that they had, and I wanted them to continue to play, continue to work for one another. It's not an easy situation for anybody, but the thing that we are playing for is we're all playing for, the Jacksonville Jaguars, but also the name on our back, and everything that we do is being evaluated, and you have an opportunity to go out. You need to be able to put forward your best showing, and you need to continue to play and give us everything you have.
Is the game today a little bit of a microcosm of you? This franchise is a bit in disarray at this point. Then you've got one of the more stable franchises in the league with the Patriots, and how things can be so different for two rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah, really, Mike, I'm not worried about all that. I'm just worried about this one team against this one game, and really focused on a week-to-week basis and trying to do the best we can. There's a lot of circumstances and things that these guys are fighting through, and I'm just asking for them to give me their best at all times, and that's what we're hoping for. And it didn't work out for us today. We didn't protect the ball on offense. We couldn't get a stop on defense, and that made it a tough day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Let's go to Gary Smith.
Coach, especially on defense, it was almost like you're choosing up sides in the playground. You looked around yesterday or today and saw what you had. And is it difficult to slap together a cohesive unit given everything you've been through?
Well, it was, like I said, it was been a rough week, but other teams have had these challenges. I don't know what it ended up, 20 something guys that we had on the COVID list. There's some of the guys fought back hard to be able to get back. Some of them weren't at full health even as they're playing. But they wanted to be out there. They wanted to play. And, Trent had a tough job as well, to put guys on the field that gave us the best opportunity. So I thought these guys came out, they played hard. I didn't see them quit. Again, I want to look at the tape. They broke out a long run there in the fourth quarter, and I saw 5 Jaguars trying to run them down and giving us full speed. Josh Allen's one of them from the backside. So, that's what you want from these guys. You want them just to continue to keep working.
Thank you.
Thanks. Let's go to John Shipley.
Hey, Daryl. I know without looking at tape and the game just being over, it can be hard to judge an offensive lineman's performance. But how did you feel just about what Walker Little did out there today, considering it was his second career start?
Yeah, John, it's going to be hard for me to really evaluate it right here. I thought there were some good things that we did. Trevor wasn't under a lot of pressure. There was a couple early sacks I think that we had, but I want to go back and look at the tape before I, talk too much about individual performances.
Did you feel like today was something the challenge the offensive line answered, just considering how many guys were down?
Yeah, it was a tough job. At the beginning of the week, I thought we were only going to have, one guy in there from our starting lineup, but we were able to, like Andrew Norwell's one of those guys that fought back hard to be able to play for us. And, he just barely got a small workout in yesterday and, came out ready to play today. So it is what it is. It's a situation that we had. I thought the guys battled. I thought we did a really, fair job of protecting him for most part of the day. The problem was the turnovers. I thought we you could see that we had some continuity in our drives. We were moving the football, but when one ball goes through our hands and we throw them another one, it makes for a tough day.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, it looks like there's no other hands raised and no other text messages. So with that, we'll let you go, Coach. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Game 2-14 record now for the Jaguars. 1 week to go in the 2021 season. Of course, we're on the second day of the 2022 calendar year, and this has been the longest season you can remember, obviously, in a long, long time.
No question about it. Coming off a 1-win season, this one doesn't really feel any better just because they have the 2 W's this time, because you had a quarterback you thought in place that would at least elevate this offense a little bit, Fred. At this point, I don't know if there's a quarterback on the planet that could elevate what they have left here on offense.
Yeah, they certainly have to add some pieces, Mike. Although Trevor struggled this year, I'm sure all Jaguar fans around the world, they would have preferred for him to come out and have the sort of season that Mac Jones has had. But that's not always the case. And Trevor has still a lot of tremendous upside, a ton of potential. I think they add more pieces. A few of the guys they depended on went out with injuries this year, or were either out. They weren't in the lineup on a consistent basis, and a lot of other things, right? With the head coaching situation and all that. So it's unfortunate for him that he was able to be in that sort of spotlight as a rookie, right. But I think it's going to make him better in the long run from a confidence standpoint and being able to say, I can fight through any adverse moments based on how my rookie season was. So as long as they put the right pieces around him, go out there and find a threat at a number 1 receiver position, someone they can just heave the ball up to, and force the issue and get a 15-target type of receiver out there. And he'll go back and watch his mistakes this year. I think he'll, in the offseason, find himself, meeting with a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers, to express to those guys that I want to be as great as you guys were, and just sit down and let's just talk the game of football.
Fred, we'll come back in just a moment to you. Let's go now to New England at Gillette Stadium, home of the Patriots. It's interim head coach Darrell Bevell joining us now. Coach, it's JP Shadrick with you, and difficult week of prep, everything going on, COVID-19, a lot of things happening, and a tough result today after the fact.
Yeah, JP, it was not a clean day for us. We didn't really get any stops on defense. We turned the ball over on offense, and we knew that it was going to be that type of game today that you had to protect the football against a great team, and we weren't able to do that.
Yeah, take us through those Trevor Lawrence interceptions. The first one, in and out of the hands of the running back, unfortunate play. How about the other 2?
Yeah, so the first one, again, we throw the ball. He's got to make a catch for us, and went off his hands. The second one, It looked to me like Trevor missed a throw outside. He needs to put it on our guy. And then the third one, I think he was trying to put it into a smaller window. I don't think he put it exactly where he wanted to. So, I want to wait and see on the tape on that third one.
Defensively today, just a struggle to get off the field when the Patriots offense is moving it like that so methodically. What was the biggest challenge today that they put up?
Yeah, I mean, they were able to make the plays. They did a good job of staying on schedule. I think they had a lot of, shorter yardage third downs. When we got them into third downs, then we weren't able to make those stops. And then they were able to just continue to do that all the way down the field. So I think it was at least the first 4 possessions that they went down and scored. And, we got to help affect it better on that. We got to knock them back and get them into longer yardage situations to make it more difficult to convert those third downs.
I can't imagine, we talked about this in the pregame interview, Daryl, I can't imagine a more difficult week of prep, just not knowing who's available, who's around, and I'm sure that even went up to yesterday and today. Have you had a more challenging week in the NFL?
Dave, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can, really. I don't know if there was. It was, early in the week as you looked at the depth chart. I mean, the tight end had one. The outside linebackers had one guy, but he hadn't even been on our team. We had picked him up on waivers. So it was just a balancing act the whole week, trying to find out who was going to be in all the way up to the last minute. But I did think that the guys, did everything that they could. They came to work. There was guys that were on the list that came off and battled back with no practice time. So I can't, there's no fault in them. I mean, they did everything that they possibly could to get back and help us out, and we just didn't do well enough today.
Daryl, thanks for the time. Safe travels. We'll talk to you this week.
All right, thanks, JB.
Daryl Bevell, interim head coach for the Jaguars, joining us from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. We'll take a timeout. Plenty more ahead. Fred Taylor rejoins us after a Jaguars loss to the New England Patriots, 50-10, the final score. Jaguars Game Day Radio is brought to you by ViStar Credit Union. Do good, bank better, and it's Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
That sound is every driver's worst fear. How much will the repairs cost? Is it your engine, your transmission, or worse? A car breakdown could cost you thousands to repair, but not if you have CarShield. CarShield administrators pay your claims directly to the mechanic or dealer of your choice, saving you time and money. Call CarShield today before your next breakdown. Call 800-471-1223, 800-471-1223.
It's a force that can't be contained, propelled by purpose, pride, and the power to protect. When winning isn't just the mission, it's your passion. You pursue it. You make power plays. You pick your team. At Farrah & Farrah, we deliver game day energy 24/7. Jacksonville.
Jaguars fans, let's team up to make a difference with Selfies for Change. For every home game at TIAA Bank Field this season, your game day selfie with a Jaguars player can unlock a donation to the Jaguars Foundation in support of a good cause. Visit jaguars.com/selfiesforchange to learn more about the impact of your photo and to locate a selfie kiosk at TIAA Bank Field. TIAA Bank is the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars, member FDIC.
Shopping Publix with delivery and curbside pickup powered by Instacart makes getting your groceries more convenient than ever. It's basically the best thing since sliced bread, which you can order from the Publix bakery. You can also get fresh meats and cheeses from the deli, delicious produce, and Publix premium ice cream, all without having to leave your couch or car. Orders are available in as little as 2 hours. Prices vary from in-store. Fees, tips, and taxes may apply. Subject to terms and availability. Visit Publix.com/shop. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor after a Jaguars loss in Week 17. 50-10, the final score. 50-10. 8 out of 10 possessions, scoring possessions for the New England Patriots today. They punted in the third quarter and then knelt down to end the game. Those are the only 2 possessions they did not score. Jaguars defense had some struggles, obviously, today. Trevor Lawrence threw 3 interceptions in the game. The Jags offense managed only an early field goal to cut the lead to 7-3, and That was it. That's all that she wrote today, and the Jags did get that touchdown in garbage time at the very end to avoid the worst defeat in franchise history. It is tied for the third worst in franchise history this afternoon. So, obviously, Fred, a lot of noise around the organization with the COVID-19 list this week on the football side of the world, getting ready for the game, who was going to be up and down. You heard Darrell Bevel there. I mean, it's interim head coach, it's tough enough, and then you throw that on top of it. Everybody's dealing with the COVID-19 thing, but this was, at one point, 27 players were on the list this week, Fred, and it's tough to manage and put a team together and field a team. That's what he said earlier in the week. You were trying to figure out how to field a team for practice this week, and then you got to go up and play New England.
Correct. And you want to feel sorry for him here. Here he is, a guy that he also wants his hat. He wants an opportunity for an interview as well. And when you have these sort of these moments where, things aren't in your control, then you don't give yourself a fair opportunity. But Bevel is he's a good coach. He's a solid play caller. And, it's just unfortunate with everything that's happened with the Jaguars this year. Across the board, you just toss that right in there. It's typical season. But again, as I was trying to explain, it's just also the perfect time to get this thing over with, go and reload and get optimistic and look forward to next year. That's where my head is already.
Fred, when you look forward, are there any of the weapons in the passing game that you're confident could be a big part of Trevor Lawrence's success in the future? Laquan Treadwell had a nice game today, but he's been basically an NFL journeyman, and the ball's got to go somewhere. I mean, are any of these guys, Marvin Jones really didn't have the season I think we were expecting out of him this year, and I understand all the circumstances, but are there any of these pass catchers that you feel can be a part of turning this thing around here?
Mike, I like to, try and be, honest and give those guys credit. I don't watch them every day in practice. I don't see their route running on each and every play because we're not having all 22 when we're reviewing the game, from home or whatever. So from that standpoint, I don't think I can make a fair assessment. I understand what the statistics say, but sometimes you have guys that coaches put in certain positions to help other guys get open. And I guess with all of the force opportunities, throwing the deep ball to Treadwell, just a, guy who has been a journeyman, as you say. He's a former first-round guy. He's not an old guy. So sometimes it's all about systems and opportunities. And he's come to Jacksonville. He was in and out, and he finally got an opportunity to be up multiple weeks. And I think he made the most of it. So I think he deserves a chance at the very bare minimum. Marvin Jones, another guy, as you mentioned, veteran guy. He's been around. He's an amazing leader, and we know what he brings to the table in that aspect. So just to mention those two guys, from a consistency standpoint, they were there pretty much every game. They were solid health-wise and all that stuff. So give them an opportunity. But I think you also have to go out there in the draft and see who's available in the free agent market, and just bring in a big name, man, someone that can force those issues, and demand certain coverages, and that are going to make spectacular catches and double coverages. So you take those shots.
Yeah, it's tough you can't replace everything in 1 year, though, Fred. You know that. I mean, there's only so many holes you can fill in one off season. This is going to be a longer build than a lot of folks would like around here.
It will be. It will be. But, just look at, someone like a Christian Wilkerson, who had just moved up from the practice squad for the Pats to go out there and caught 2 touchdowns, dropped a third. Guys have to find a way to make plays as well. And then you build that way. I'm sure he's going to get more opportunities simply because he took advantage of the opportunities that were presented to him today. And that's just what happens in the NFL. You have guys out there that they'll be sitting on the practice squad, and before you know it, boom, these guys are starters. And those opportunities just have to find the Jaguars.
So, final score, 50-10. Patriots over the Jaguars in Week 17. The Jags are now 2-14 on the season, with 1 week to go. New England now 10-6. They're headed to the playoffs. The Jags have now dropped 8 in a row. We're back in a moment with the highlights. A lot of scoring today for the wrong side, unfortunately. A little later, a TIAA Bank stats check. Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today. Official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this is Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Veterans, you may have earned a variety of VA benefits. Did you know VA can help you further your education and pursue professional training? The Home Loan Guarantee Program can help you buy, repair, or adapt a home. VA provides housing support if you find yourself homeless or at risk of homelessness. And don't forget world-class health care. Learn more about these and other VA benefits. Visit choose.va.gov.
Headquartered right here in Jacksonville, CSI Companies is one of the fastest-growing workforce solutions companies in the nation. As a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI has the resources necessary to scale with any enterprise, yet they are small enough to maintain the agility, personal service, and remarkable experience they've become known for over the past 3 decades. This is your workforce and your business reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com to learn more. As JTech continues to train tomorrow's technicians right here in Jacksonville and supply them throughout the Southeast, they wanted everyone to know that they are the biggest Jaguars fans around. JTech is super excited about this season. They are equally excited about the $6.8 million improvement of their facility and the program growth in auto, diesel, HVAC, marine, and RV programs. Come check them out on the south side of Jacksonville or visit online at jtech.org.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars at Houston, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and Los Angeles. Taunt the other teams in Nashville, New York, and Boston. When you fly nonstop from Duval, on-airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. And economy lots are now open at just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. 50-10, the Patriots over the Jaguars in Week 17. Let's get to the highlights of this one, and it's all New England. Jaguars go 3 and out on the opening drive. The ensuing drive for New England, 11 plays, 70 yards, just over 7 minutes, and Damian Harris in from 2 yards.
The give to Damian Harris, lowers his shoulder, tries the right side, touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown run by Damian Harris, and New England strikes first at Gillette Stadium.
7-zip at that point. The Jags got a 40-yard pass play to Treadwell on the next drive, flipped the field. They finished with a field goal of 29 yards, 7-3. That'd be about as close as they got all day long. Damian Harris caps off the next New England drive. Just under 70 yards, just over 5 minutes. Harris from 7 yards.
Running play, Damian Harris cuts it back to the middle of the field, lowers the shoulder into the end zone, touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown run by Damian Harris, and the Patriots have extended the lead.
It was 14-3 at that point. Jags back on offense. The 6th play of the drive through running back Raquel Armstead's hands, and Miles Bryant with an interception off Trevor Lawrence.
Play fake, Trevor dropped the throw. looking, lots of time, fires left side, and that ball is tipped and intercepted. Intercepted and being run back along the right sideline, picked off by the Patriots. Miles Bryant, it went in and out of the hands of Armstead. Raquel could not bring it in, and the tip interception is run back by Miles Bryant into Jaguars territory.
33-yard return, set up another short field. 7 plays later, Jones to Christian Wilkerson for a score.
Play fake. Jones rolls to the right, looking, fires in the back of the end zone. That is going to be caught for the touchdown. Christian Wilkerson caught it, a 6-yard touchdown pass from Mac Jones to Christian Wilkerson, and the Patriots have scored again.
21-3, Jaguars back on offense. 5 plays later, the second interception off Trevor.
Shotgun, dropping is Trevor. Fires. That ball is picked off again. Interception in the middle of the field. J.C. Jackson picked it off. What a terrific season he has had. His 8th interception of the year. The 16th thrown this year by Trevor Lawrence.
Set up another scoring drive. 6 plays later, Jones to Jacoby Myers from 4 yards out for the Patriots.
Dropping the throw. Fires left corner of the end zone. That is going to be a touchdown, and that is a perfect throw in the corner of the end zone to Jacoby Myers from Mac Jones, a 4-yard touchdown pass, and the Patriots extend the lead.
28-3 at halftime. Patriots open the second half on a 6-play drive, 77 yards. Jones to Wilkerson for the second time, this time from 20 yards.
Play fake. It's a blitz. Firing toward the end zone, wide open. You'll never see a receiver more wide open than Christian Wilkerson was as he waltzes into the end zone for an awfully easy 20-yard touchdown catch.
They missed the extra point, though. 34-3 was the score at that point. Jaguars can't do anything with it. A couple drives later, the third interception of the day off Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor drop. Look. Fires downfield, picked off. Picked off again, running it back of the Patriots to near the goal line. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 1-yard line that time. Kyle Duggar just ran back another Trevor Lawrence interception to the 1-yard line.
20-yard return, 1 play later, Ramondre Stevenson from a yard out.
They give it to Stevenson. He walks into the end zone from a yard away. Ramondre Stevenson adds to the lead with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Well, that opened up a 41-3 lead. Folk get a field goal, 44-3. Patriots get another touchdown from Stevenson from 6 yards out.
Running play, tries to bounce it outside. Can he get the edge? Yes, he can, into the end zone, touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown run by Ramondre Stevenson. And the Patriots have gone north of 50. Or they have hit 50 here at Gillette Stadium.
Well, they fumbled the snap on the extra point that time. So 50-3, New England with the lead. Jaguars do get in the end zone, though, late. Lawrence to Dare Ogunbowale.
Dropping, it's a blitz this time. They throw a screen to the left side to Dare Ogunbowale inside the 20, to the 15, to the 10, 5, touchdown. Dare Ogunbowale caught a screen pass and turned it into a 28-yard touchdown, the first one of the day for Jacksonville.
And that would be how it ended, 50-10, the final score. The Jags have now dropped 8 in a row. They're for a 2-14 record. New England 10-6, and they're headed to the postseason. We're back in a moment with a TIAA Bank stats check. This is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Great teams leave it all on the field. But with the powerful towing and payload that Ford F-150 delivers, you can take it all with you, too. No wonder Ford F-Series is America's best-selling truck 44 years straight. The 2021 Ford F-150, built for greatness. Visit your local Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com. Based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
Proven IT implements a strategic game plan designed to streamline your business for maximum results. Make the winning choice with the official business systems partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Proven IT. Proven IT's technology experts use a customized approach to understand how to design, implement, and monitor solutions that optimize your business. Proven IT provides managed network services, document management solutions, office technology, voice and data solutions, and more. Visit ProvenIT.com to see how they can streamline your business. Proven IT, transforming workplace productivity.
Welcome back to Jaguars Postgame, presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor, 50-10. The final score, the second most points allowed by the Jaguars all time in a single game, tied for the second most. The 2015 game at New England, they gave up 51. And then in 1998 at Minnesota, they gave up 50. Today, they gave up 50 as well. It is tied for the third largest margin of defeat in Jaguars history, and it's time now for a TIAA Bank stats check. As you would imagine, in a 50-10 loss, it's going to go one way, and it's not the Jaguars' way. Total yardage, 471 to 253 in favor of the Patriots. Rushing net, 181 on the ground for New England, 80 for the Jaguars. 290 passing yards for New England, 173 for the Jaguars. First downs, 32 first downs for New England, 11 for the Jaguars. Third down conversions, New England 8 of 10. They had some struggles the last week or two in that department, not today. Jaguars 3 of 9 on third downs. Penalties, 3 for 25 yards against the Jags, 3 for 30 against New England, and time of possession in favor of New England, 36 minutes, 46 seconds, 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions from Trevor Lawrence.
Not good, JP. You were right. I did not expect it to be good, and you did not disappoint me there. Individually, Trevor Lawrence, 17 out of 27, 193 yards. The touchdown to Ogunbowale, those 3 interceptions. A quarterback rating today of 57.1. Keep that in mind as both Patriot quarterbacks who played more than doubled that today. Mac Jones, 22 out of 30, 227, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Quarterback rating of 128.1. Brian Hoyer off the bench, 3 of 4 for 63 yards and a quarterback rating of 116.7. Ogunbowale today, a little bit of a bright spot, 9 for 36, so 4 yards per carry on the ground. And nice to see Rock Armstead come back healthy to the Jaguars here, 6 for 28 for 4.7 yards per carry. Ogunbowale had the lone touchdown, had 2 grabs for 32 yards. Laquan Treadwell led the way with 6 catches for 87, so he caught all 6 of his targets today. On the Patriots side of things, it was Ramondre Stevenson off the bench for 19 for 107 and 2 touchdowns. Damian Harris came into the game questionable, a little nicked up, only played long enough to get his 2 touchdowns early on 9 carries for 35 yards. So 4 on the ground from the Patriots' 2 main backs. And Christian Wilkerson up off the practice squad catches 4 for 42 and a pair of scores. Jacoby Myers, who is almost allergic to the end zone, caught 8 for 73 and a touchdown. And Kendrick Bourne had 5 for 76 on the day. For the Jaguars, not good when your leading tacklers are a bunch of defensive backs. Chris Claybrooks led the way with 9 total stops, including 6 solo. Daniel Jones had 8 total tackles. Andre Sisco and a bunch of other guys had 6 for the Jacksonville Jaguars today.
Whew. One of those days, Fred. No matter how you carve this one up, it's all bad for the Jags today.
Yeah, of course, JP. Again, the Patriots are hungry. They knew what they were playing for. They weren't going to let any other team dictate their fate. They knew they had to win, but they've clinched their playoff spot as they expected prior to this game. Jacksonville, on the other hand, again, just shorthanded, man. The guys that were out there performed. Obviously, they went out there to do it to the best of their ability and compete. They knew what the opportunity in front of them presented. and what the challenge was going to be. It's just no way in the world they were going to be able to stop that team today. So that's where we are, man. But still, for me, JP, shout out to the O-line. I can't give anybody else any credit today. I thought they did okay up front.
For considering the way this week went, yes, absolutely. They had
for considering that, of course.
Absolutely. They had 4 starters on the COVID list at one point this week, a couple other players, and then figured it out over the weekend that they're going to have 3 starters available. And, well, it's a rough one, but Jaguars fall by 40 today in New England, 50-10. We're back in a moment with the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting.
Whoa.
Indeed. It's Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG, too. Former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Hey Jaguars fans, tired of being late to the game because you're still stuck in traffic or circling the block looking for a place to park? Next time, join thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smart way to get to the stadium is on the JTA Game Day Express. Express shuttles run from 5 convenient locations, including the newest location at FSCJ downtown. Tickets start at just $8 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
How far should we go? When it comes to the health of children, we will stop at nothing, focusing on prevention as much as cures. Working with community leaders, educators, policymakers to make every child's world a place for them to thrive. Going to the nth degree and beyond. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine. Join the journey at nemours.org/beyond.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. A 50-10 loss for the Jaguars in New England against the Patriots this afternoon. 8 in a row now for the Jags on the losing side, 2-14. The overall record, New England now 10-6, and they scored on 8 of 10 possessions today. It's time for the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. I get a vote, Mike gets a vote, Fred gets a vote, and I have to break any deadlocks. And I must say there aren't probably very many candidates today, Mike.
No, I've got a couple, though. You want me to go first?
Go for it.
All right, I'll go with Dare Ogunbowale. I think he's one of the obvious ones because he's the only guy who scored a touchdown today, helped Trevor Lawrence throw his second touchdown in 9 games. But for Ogunbowale, who's been here for a couple of seasons, his first touchdown as a Jacksonville Jaguar, averaged 4 yards a carry on the ground. There weren't a lot of carries to go around as the Jags fell behind big early, but caught both of his targets for 32 yards and that 28-yard score, Fred. So I'm going to go with Ogunbowale as my vote for the Jaguar Radio Network Player of the Game.
I'm going to go next. and we're going to make it interesting because I'm going to go with Laquan Treadwell.
That was the other good one.
Because there have been some issues dropping the football by wide receivers as of late, as we all know. Laquan Treadwell caught every target today that was thrown his way. 6 targets, 6 receptions, 87 yards, including a 40-yarder on that second drive that flipped the field and got them into a position where they could get some points on the board early. So I'm going Laquan Treadwell. Fred Taylor, it's up to you.
Well, guys, I'm going to throw you a vicious curveball right here, and I'm going to go with Antonio Brown. He left the game only to make the Jags game I'm kidding. That's a guy we won't see in Jacksonville in the future. So anyway, on Wale, he averaged 4 yards a carry, as well as the 2 catches on 2 targets for 32 yards in that touchdown that Mike mentioned. So there we have it on Wale, the Jaguars Network Player of the Game.
There it is. If you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, then look no further than Ford F-150. Loaded with impressive capability and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between, this truck makes tough look easy. No wonder it's the official truck of the NFL and proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars. If you've just joined us or you haven't been following today, Antonio Brown of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers apparently got benched by Bruce Arians and was so upset with it, he took his jersey off, his shoulder pads off, his undershirt off, his gloves off, threw them into the crowd, and then walked off the field in the middle of an offensive possession today. And Bruce Arians, after the game, said he's no longer a Buccaneer.
Yeah, didn't exactly walk off either. I mean, played to the crowd, threw the number 1 up in the air. You know, I got to say, Fred, I mentioned this to JP earlier, I'll give AB credit. He hasn't skipped ab day, man. That guy's shredded. But you know, other than that, at least the 40-point blowout will not lead SportsCenter, as AB's histrionics will be the top story around the National Football League today, man.
Yeah, walked away from what should have been an amazing Hall of Fame career, man. It's just unfortunate, and you know, I really think AB should find a way to get him some help. And that's my 2 cents on that, man. It's just a sad situation.
You're right, and you know, Bruce Arians put his neck out there for him, right? I said, hey, when they signed him, 1 mistake and he's gone, and then obviously he's had some missteps, and he said, well, that, you know, the circumstances change, and he basically said anyone's crazy for questioning why he would keep him, and here he is returning the favor with this kind of act.
It's always bigger than football. You know, a guy I played 13 years, I've seen a lot of my brothers, colleagues, you know, go through, you know, their mental issues and a lot of different challenges post-career. Never seen anything like this throughout someone's, you know, career that was, man, the potential was there. But I think that we give guys so much credit for being, you know, strong and amazing on the field and all this other stuff. And we don't necessarily always break down the mental part of it and the stigmas associated with that. But I really do think now, having seen AB go through what he's gone through the past at least 3 or 4 years, I think it's time that someone convinces him to check in somewhere and really just get his life in order. Because football is done. But it's more important to value his life now. Man, it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that. We'll come back in a moment, and we've got the Baptist Health Injury Report. A lot of names on the COVID list this week. We know all that, but we'll see how the week goes along for the Jaguars in that regard. 1 more week to go in the 2021 regular season, and this is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
At VyStar Credit Union, you inspire us to deliver on our promise, to do good for our members and our communities. That's why we offer more banking options, like better rates and no hidden fees. We also give back, donating several $1 million to hundreds of nonprofits each year. Better financial lives, stronger communities. VyStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better. Visit vystarcu.org/join. Insured by NCUA.
Brooks Rehabilitation is looking for exceptional nurses who want to work where miracles happen. They're hiring for RN, LPN, HHA, and CNA positions across their inpatient, skilled nursing, and home health care settings. Brooks nurses serve as leaders, advocates, change agents, and care coordinators for their patients. They offer flexible schedules, career advancements and continuing education, competitive pay plus bonuses, shift premiums, and sign-on bonuses. Apply now at brooksrehab.org/nursecareers.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro, the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville.
After a major storm, you can count on JEA to safely restore power as quickly as possible. During Phase 1, we restore power to critical infrastructure, hospitals, shelters, and police and fire stations. In Phase 2, we put all our resources into restoring power to neighborhoods and businesses. And during Phase 3, we won't stop until every outage is resolved. Because when the community you serve is home, there's more than power on the line. Learn more at DoMoreWithJEA.com. JEA, building a more resilient community.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey and Fred Taylor. 50-10 the final score. Patriots over the Jaguars. It's time now for the Baptist Health Injury Report. Baptist Health changing health care for good. I don't remember anything coming out of this game, especially today, too major.
Thank goodness.
That's good news. Obviously, this has been a busy week on the transaction list with the COVID-19 reserve designations up to 27 at one point earlier in the week. I think they were down to 17 today. They brought some guys off the list, put a couple guys on. They're moving people off the practice squad. There's one more week of this left to go, Fred. And, who knows what this thing's really going to look like come tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, when they get back on the practice field. One other note, by the way, they're still awaiting after the game the press conferences, post-game press conferences by the players are usually pretty quick afterwards, and according to some in attendance today or about to attend the Zoom press conferences, only one player was going to be made available, Trevor Lawrence. He hasn't talked yet. We'll keep you posted on what's going on with that. That's been about 40 minutes ago since Trent Baalke, since interim head coach Darrell Bevell spoke with the media. Trent
Baalke on the mind.
A name on the mind of a lot of people this week. So that's all coming up. We'll see. We'll keep you posted if anything happens there. So it's tough, Fred. I mean, you don't know who's going to be available Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week.
It's very true. It's very true. And then they're able to do that Zoom thing. That when they mentioned that, JP, having not been able to be a part of it, I go back to when I played and I wonder, is this equivalent to when we have a substitute teacher, in school? Like, do you really focus in as you should focus, or do you really pay attention and get those mental reps? I wonder what's going on in the heads of a lot of these players. I understand that the better players, they would want to dive in and make sure they're getting everything as best as they could.
Yep, I got you.
All right, we're going to get started with Mia O'Brien and then Mark Long.
Hey, Trevor, Darrell just said that they thought about potentially pulling you towards the end of the game and putting CJ in, but he said that he feels for you to grow. They kind of made the decision that you have to go through this. What was it like going through this one?
Yeah, it was obviously it wasn't a good day for us. Just didn't play well all phases of the game. So it sucks, when you go out there, you prepare for the game, and to go out there and just not perform it's disappointing. So just got to regroup, got to go flip the page, turn it over, get ready for the Colts. But yeah, it's definitely frustrating. I know for me, I feel like I really started off the game pretty well. I felt great throwing the ball. I thought we had them on their heels the first 2 or 3 drives, and then from there I had a couple. I had 2 bad plays that were picks, and just wish I had those back. And the other pick was a tip to the guy. Can't do much about that. So, but yeah, I wish I had those 2 plays back. Weren't good decisions by me. Put our defense in a tough spot. And then they just dominated the game, and you just gotta admit that after that performance. So we gotta regroup and get better, play better next week.
Have you thought at all about maybe if you had been pulled later in the game, do you think like that would have provided a different level of insight for you? Is that where you might be at, or?
No, not really. I mean, I come here to play the game, and I want to finish. And I was glad we got that last possession to at least put something together offensively and finish on a positive note. Wasn't a good day, like I said, but to finish and score there was nice. We put together a nice drive, and guys didn't quit. And yeah, it's just you look around that locker room. It's disappointing coming in there after a game like that. It's a bad feeling. So just doing everything we can to ensure that doesn't happen again. But yeah, I mean, for me, when I'm in the game, I want to finish. And then just growing from there. Similar situation in Tennessee as today, but Tennessee, I threw another turnover late in the game, just forced it, kind of got desperate. And today I was happy with at least that last drive where I thought I managed the situations well. Our guys did a nice job. Tread had a great physical catch there at the end of the drive. We ran the ball well. Dare did a great job on the screen at the end. It was good to at least finish there. So obviously, like I said, a couple plays I want back, and can't get them back. You got to execute in the moment. So just got to get better.
Thanks, Trev.
Thanks, Mia. Let's go to Mark and then Gary.
Hey, Trevor, what gets said in the locker room after one like this? Much of anything or everything?
It depends. Today, obviously, like I said, it's not a good feeling being in that locker room after a game like that, but just Coach Bev talked to us for a second, and just at that point, we, like I said, there was a positive. We kept fighting, finished on offense, but other than that, there's not many positives. You got to just move on. You got to have. I'm learning. You got to have a short memory in this league, and Sunday's coming quick. The next one, so you got to flip the page. Obviously, we're gonna watch the tape. We're gonna watch tape tomorrow and learn everything we can from it. There'll be some learning, every game there is. But we really just got to get ready to beat the Colts. But after a game like this, yeah, you got to really flip the page quick and just definitely not let that get in your psyche. You got to keep playing with confidence and forget about it.
Are you kind of ready for the season to be over? And second part of that is, where's your confidence level that this thing can get fixed with the current people who are making decisions?
No, I wouldn't say I'm ready for the season to be over. When that comes, obviously, it's going to be nice to take a breather and really take in everything that's happened this year. It's been a wild year, but really I kind of want some more opportunities to finish strong. And we got a lot of guys, like I've said it before, that work really hard, deserve to win. And I'm just disappointed. That's kind of my feeling right now. I'm just disappointed the way we played today, because I know the guys in that locker room, and really just want to be better for them. So I definitely wouldn't say that I'm ready for the season to be over. But yeah, I mean, and then the second part of your question, I'm sorry.
Confidence level of the people making decisions to get this thing right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I haven't been here that long. I've been here for a year. So we'll see in this offseason. That's something, like I said, we got one more left, and I'm putting everything I have into this last game and trying to get a win and finish strong with these guys and end on a positive note. But yeah, I mean, I haven't been around the NFL long, so you still don't even know how everything completely works. But I'm just trusting who's in leadership positions. At the end of the day, my job is to be a quarterback and to lead this team, and I can only do so much, and that's what I'm going to do. So other than that, I'm just going to put my head down, go to work, and yeah, I have faith that we are going to come out in a way better spot next year than we are right now. So I 100% believe that. And I'm just looking forward to doing that, because a lot of these guys deserve it.
Thanks, Mark. Let's go to Gary and then Cole.
Trevor, you just touched on it, but talk about how hard one little bright spot is how hard Laquan Treadwell is going to the ball and making catches in traffic and being physical out there.
Yeah, Laquan's playing great. I'm really happy for him. He's a guy that, was on practice squad at the beginning of the season for a while. I can't remember how many games it was, and just he's always been a competitor. If you look at his journey, he's had a lot of ups and downs, and it's interesting just talking to him. His wife and Marissa are close friends, so we spend a lot of time together, and he's got a really good perspective. He's kind of been through, like I said, a lot of ups and downs, and really just keeps his head down and goes to work. And this year, obviously, he's had most of his action late in the season, but has just kept being the guy that's consistent, every day. Like I said, he fights for the ball. He's made some great plays the last few weeks, and just feel great about him and where his confidence is at, and my confidence in him has been really good, and you kind of see that.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Gary. We'll finish up with Cole Pepper.
All right, Trevor, said a question about the leadership on the team right now. Is there enough vocal leadership? Is there enough veteran leadership that you feel comfortable with the way things are wrapping up here? Obviously, play on the field's one thing, but how you handle it off the field's another.
You're talking about within the team of players?
Players, yeah.
Players, yeah. I mean, we got, obviously I'm included in that group, and just trying to have conversations with guys and really, one, like I said, flip the page and let's go and finish strong. We got one more week left. I don't want to hear, and then no one really has, but I don't want to hear anything about off season. We got a week left. Let's put everything we have into this and feel good about it. You want to go in the off season feeling like you left everything out there. So that's for one. And just having those conversations with the other leaders on the team has been great. Obviously, we're missing a lot of them today that are out with COVID. So a lot of them are on the trip, but communicating that with the guys. And then, I think our leadership has been solid this year. Obviously, maybe that's something we need to have a little bit more leadership, more vocal leadership. Obviously, our play on the field hasn't been what we wanted it to be. So I think really just grooming our mindset, especially this offseason and going into next year, is doing everything we can to win, and that being the focus. And that's really all it's about. And I have confidence, like I said, that we're going to get there. But just really everybody getting mentally prepared when next season hits, let's go put everything we can in to go win every game.
And kind of leading on off of that, you've had more games that have been non-competitive losses this year than you probably ever had losses previous to this, just games where this got away from you. What have you learned from those games that you think will help you in the future?
The games we've lost by a lot, you're saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just, really people look at the final score, look at the stats, look at all those things. But when you're in the game, you see how close it is, how small the margin is, and it can get away from you fast. And just realizing the game is played with momentum, especially in this league. Momentum's huge. And really, for me today, where I'm disappointed, obviously their offense had a lot of momentum early, score on the first consecutive possessions. I don't know how many it was, but for us, we were driving the ball, and then, like I said, the turnover, the interception off the tip ball, can't do much there for me. But then after that, get the ball back, start going another drive, and then I throw one to JC Jackson. So that, that situational football is okay, they got a little bit of momentum. Let's put together a good drive. Let's eat some clock, keep moving the ball. And that throw, I'd love to just throw it away and keep the drive alive. We had just converted a big third down. So that's one example from today of where I can do a better job is taking care of the football and giving our defense a chance to regroup and get ready for that next possession, instead of having another sudden change where they got to run out there on their minus 40 and go play defense again. That's tough. So I've learned a lot. I've learned just to keep your head down, keep working. And I've also learned, like I said, just about how small the margin is. And it looks like it's big after the game, but really there's plays here and there. And I think just the game is so mental on this level, and the teams that are really good and play together are all on the same page, and they're super prepared. And that's a step that I think we need to take.
Thanks, Trevor.
Thanks, Cole. Thanks, Trevor. Appreciate your time today. Safe travels home.
Thank y'all. See y'all.
Thanks, media.
Our producers, Brent Reber, Trent Padilla, Gabby Dalton produce our videos for Jaguars.com. For Fred Taylor, Mike Dempsey, and our entire crew, this is JP Shadrick saying good night. Final score, Patriots 50, Jaguars 10 on the Jaguars Radio Network.
It's time for the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and NFL Network analyst and former Jaguar Bucky Brooks are ready for you to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Baptist Health, Farah and Farah, and by TIAA Bank. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show starts right now.
Welcome into the Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and NFL Network analyst Bucky Brooks after a Jaguars loss to the Patriots 50-10. 8 straight losses for the Jags to fall to 2-14. The Patriots are now 10-6. They're headed to the postseason, and they scored on 8 of 10 possessions today. Bucky, good afternoon to you. What's up?
What's up, JP? I wish it was under better conditions.
Yeah, it doesn't get much worse conditions, actually, for the Jaguars with the COVID list going in. And, we were like, it may not be that, but they can hang in there, get a few plays. No, it's set up and played out like a lot of people anticipated today.
Yeah, it was a tail kicking from beginning to end. And one of the things that you knew about the Patriots, particularly coming off a loss, they were going to be focused. They were going to be locked in. You alluded to it, 8 scores and 10 possessions. Having their way with the Jaguars is exactly how many people felt. I didn't think it would be a 40-point differential, but that's where it goes. Turn the ball over, can't get stops, can't get off the field, can't make plays. It tends to happen like that.
Bucky, I asked Fred Taylor the same question. What do you do with the film here? I mean, what do you take away from this? Do you just make the guys watch this and live with it for a day or so, or is this one that you say that – there's really not a lot to learn from? How do you look at this?
No, I think if you're Bevel, you still have to conduct yourself like a pro. You still watch the tape. You still make the corrections. You try to emphasize some of the things, particularly because you have so many young guys on the field. You try to give them some tools that they'll be able to take with them as they go forward, regardless of whether you coach them or not. You still want to develop them. And as long as there's another game to be played, you have to prepare and act like a coach, like you're a leader of the team. And so they're going to look to you for leadership and guidance. And what Bevel and the rest of the coaches can do is they can show these guys how to be professionals. So you have to watch the tape, review it, and then kind of move on from there.
Final score, 50-10. The Patriots scoring on 8 of 10 possessions. The Jaguars got an early field goal from Matthew Wright, and then a garbage time touchdown. Lawrence to Ogunbowale, 28-yard screen pass. Catch and run for a score today, and that's all she wrote. The Patriots nearly got 500 yards of offense.
They could have if they wanted.
They could have. I think they kind of let off the gas a little bit.
Yeah, I mean they outrushed the Jags by 101 yards.
It wasn't even difficult. It's just like methodical.
You got a guy off the practice squad out there looking like
right.
Cooper Kupp or Randy Moss or who name your guy. I mean,
By the way, no Jaguars defensive players were made available after the game today. So that's only Trevor Lawrence spoke with the media today.
Not a surprise.
But hey, man, got to get on with your business. Got to get back. Got to get on the flight. No need to, delay everybody with that stuff. So on to the next.
Well, the next is the last for the 2021 season. The Jaguars will face the Colts next week. Plenty of time to get to that ball game. Plenty of time for you to get in here. 355 NFL1, the number 355-6351. We're here until 6 o'clock. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Move day is on the 20, the 10. Yes, another successful move to a new home. I tell you, folks, I've never seen a team more prepared than the Move Day crew. With a dominating lead in training, trust, and moving efficiency, it's no wonder why Move Day is the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Track your goods online and get updated play-by-plays throughout your move process. While the Jags are moving the chains on game day, they're here to help you on moving day. Call 844-MY-MOVE-DAY or visit movedaymovers.com.
Fans like you have been told that going all out is going too far. But fans like you know better. You're the kind of fan who loves the team as much as your pet, who paints yourself for game days and dyes your pet's fur to match. You are a rare breed. You are a pet fanatic, equal parts pet obsessed and diehard sports fan. At Pet Paradise, they're crazy about pets too. The official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pet Paradise. It's a new day in pet care.
At VyStar Credit Union, you inspire us to deliver on our promise, to do good for our members and our communities. That's why we offer more banking options, like better rates and no hidden fees. We also give back, donating several $1 million to hundreds of nonprofits each year. Better financial lives, stronger communities. VyStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better. Visit vystarcu.org/join. Insured by NCUA.
Are you tired of not seeing clearly? As the official eye care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Florida Eye Specialists offers the safest, most effective technology to regain control of your sight. With 9 locations across Northeast Florida, our dedicated doctors have provided premier eye care to the community for more than 20 years. Call 904-564-2020 or visit FloridaEyeSpecialists.com to book an appointment with Jacksonville's most trusted eye care providers today.
Shopping Publix with delivery and curbside pickup powered by Instacart makes getting your groceries more convenient than ever. It's basically the best thing since sliced bread, which you can order from the Publix bakery. You can also get fresh meats and cheeses from the deli, delicious produce, and Publix premium ice cream, all without having to leave your couch or car. Orders are available in as little as 2 hours. Prices vary from in-store. Fees, tips, and taxes may apply. Subject to terms and availability. Visit Publix.com/shop. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. 355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. The Scoreboard Show underway. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks after a 40-point loss for the Jaguars today. 50-10, tied for the third largest margin of defeat in franchise history today. Tied for the second most points allowed in Jaguars history today. And the Patriots did anything and everything they wanted this afternoon in a 40-point win over the Jaguars. What you got, Mike?
They certainly did. We have loaded phone lines at 355-NFL1. We'll start with Hugh first up here on the Scoreboard Show. Hugh, you're on with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. I heard the unfortunate news about Dan Reeves recently, and, it got me to thinking a little bit. Tom Landry trusted that man to be a player coach. And I wonder if something that unconventional could work with the Jaguars. I mean, we have a guy, and hear me out on this, who has those leadership qualities, who could be a coach, he could be a player. He's from the area. He's won a Heisman Trophy.
Oh, no.
I think we get Tim Tebow as our backup quarterback.
That's enough. You're out of here.
I mean, seriously, Bucky, I don't even know if I take that serious.
Come on, man. He wasn't good enough as a player to even entertain that stuff. Like, I don't know why we'd even have that conversation.
That's not even
let's move on to the next.
Yeah, we're moving on. We're moving on.
I mean, is that really what you spend your afternoon planning to do? Call in and make a Tim Tebow reference? Honestly. I mean, all right. Sakib is the first real caller on the Scoreboard Show. Happy New Year, Sakib.
Hello, what's up? Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
Hey, what's up, Sakib? How you doing?
and I'm just asking if Tony Khan and Shad Khan are listening to this, please, I'm begging you for all the Jaguar fans, I'm begging and pleading with you, just fire Balky. It would just help us out a lot. That's all I want right now for a late Christmas gift. Is I want to make sure that he gets fired. That's the only thing I'm asking for. I'm done with this year. Just go ahead and clean. I want a clean slate, like I've been saying. For all the Jaguar fans listening to us, good luck to us. And I just want them to get fired. Thank you, guys.
Hey, then what?
I don't care. Hire JP if you want to. I don't care. Hire JP. Hire Mike Dempsey. I don't care. Hire Tony Baselli. I don't care. I want everybody to be gone. That's all I'm asking for. As a Jaguar fan for over 24 years that I am, I just want a clean slate. Clean slate. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for much. I just want everybody to be brand new in that stadium. That's all I want.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Bucky, I don't think it's an uncommon sentiment. I mean, we've seen what's been going on social media, but I don't think it's even necessarily specific to Trent Baalke. He's part of what's been 3 wins in 2 seasons. And, whether it's fair or not, I think some part guilt by association going on here. And it's not like you can point to a lot of successes that he's had to build the case for him sticking around. I think Sakib speaks for a lot of Jaguar fandom.
Yeah, look, I think that's a prevailing sentiment around the Jaguars. Like, a lot of people kind of wonder why and how and what could he possibly do to turn it around. But ultimately, man, it's an ownership decision. And if they feel like if they are willing to put their confidence in Trent Baalke to build a team and to build a winner in Jacksonville, the only thing we can do is just kind of wait and see. But I would say it is a little perplexing why he's kind of been the holdover, why right now they've already the Jaguars haven't made a statement that that's going to happen, but the reports are coming out that he's going to be held over. It's just surprising because what it does is it limits your pool a little bit when it comes to head coaches who is going to be interested in working with Baalke. What relationships does Baalke have with others in the league? So it changes the dynamics of the pool, whereas if it's wide open and it's a situation where it's going to be a coach-driven process or whatever, where then coaches can begin to think about who would I want to pair with as a personnel guy to kind of rebuild this thing. And so it's almost like resetting the Urban Meyer era over in terms of like a clean slate. Now it becomes a little stickier, and you just kind of have to see how it plays out. And so we're just kind of have to wait and see, because I think the next 2 weeks will really reveal whether Baalke stays or whether they move on and kind of give total power to somebody else who comes in as a head coach.
No, I think you're right about the wait and see, because there are, conflicting reports on both sides of this, and everything's rumor and speculation based on unnamed sources, which can be accurate or might not be accurate until we know one way or the other definitively. I think it's still somewhat up in the air how that whole thing's going to go.
Dim, I think here's the thing though, like it's disconcerting when you see the stuff come out and there hasn't been like a statement to counter it or anything, right? So all week in Twitter, we see the clowns and all this other stuff. And, man, when you've been around the team, you've been associated with the franchise, like no one wants to see that stuff. And so you have to think that people are taking note of that. And even though you don't let fans drive the decision-making process, you certainly have to be aware of what they're expressing, because then that affects like what it's going to look like when the team runs out in the stadium next year. And so it certainly has to be under consideration. And, maybe everyone to take all that and think about it and then kind of make a good decision. I just want to see the right dude in the right spots.
I think we all do. All right, let's get one more in here before the next break, and that's Kyrie in Norfolk, Virginia. Kyrie, you're on the Scoreboard Show with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on?
What's up?
Hey, man. I knew once I seen Chris Clay Brooks and Trey Herndon on the field, I knew it was over at that point. I knew they was going to be giving up wide open throws, which they did. Second off, Trent Baalke needs to go. This game shows that with the lack of talent, I don't care about COVID, because even with the players who was there, I don't see any different results with the players there without them. It doesn't matter. They're going to ruin Trevor. They're going to ruin Trevor's career. I feel so sorry for this man. I know I said that I didn't believe in him, I'm questioning him. I mean, I still believe in him, but I have some questions. But they're going to ruin Trevor. Shad Khan needs to do something about this. This is really ridiculous. At least we didn't have an Antonio Brown situation, I guess. That's the silver lining, walking off the field at the middle of the game. But anyways, I'll take you guys' comments off here.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Bucky, are you concerned that Trevor's development will be going in the wrong direction? I mean, can you, I don't know, ruin might be too strong a word, but are they setting him back in his development the way the season has played out?
I mean, you certainly have to think about it. I mean, he hasn't played well. And I know that we've seen a handful of players that have bounced back from poor starts to have outstanding careers, but you certainly have to worry about it. And it's not just the on-field stuff, it's all the off-the-field stuff that he's had to deal with. Most rookie quarterbacks are ill-prepared to deal with just the challenges of playing the game between the lines. But Trevor's been tasked with having to deal with like a circus environment around him for the better part of an entire year. And so how in good faith can we really know what Trevor is when there have been so many distractions and other things? On the field, yeah, it needs to get better. He needs to perform better. He needs better pieces around him. We need to maybe see if there's a system that's out there that can maximize his talents. I mean, I think it's a big incomplete. The one thing that I would be concerned with, and this is something that the owner has to be able to do, is he has to be able to have a real conversation with Trevor. He has to encourage Trevor. He has to tell him that, hey, man, I'm going to get this thing fixed and we're going to be great, because you're right. The guy comes in with so much achievement and accolades surrounding his name. To see him struggle the way that he struggled, I would worry about his confidence going forward, because he's never lost to this level. I mean, he's never lost ever, but he's never lost to this level. So you do worry about his confidence.
We're just getting started on the Scoreboard Show. 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. We're here until 6 o'clock with your calls. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Need pest control that's safe and actually works? Then look no further than Jaguar's proud partner, Kingfish Pest Control. Kingfish is family-owned and has thousands of 5-star customer reviews for good reason. Their high level of customer care and quality service is off the charts. They're the leaders in pest control technology, using the industry's latest and greatest pest application equipment and products. They'll even email a picture of the technician who'll be coming to your home. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home. Go to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com.
It's a fact. All cars will eventually break down. If you have CarShield, you can protect yourself from the high cost of auto repairs. And they're America's #1 auto protection company. Your transmission, engine, and car's computer system are all covered. Get the ultimate vehicle service protection. Call CarShield now at 800-471-1223. That's 800-471-1223.
Don't miss your chance, Jags fans. Our final home game of the regular season will be a fiery divisional matchup with the Indianapolis Colts. You won't want to miss a second of the action, so join the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field on January 9th for game day on the gridiron. To defend Duval and secure your seats today, visit us online at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you there.
Roof Claim is a proud supporter of professional football and the Jacksonville Jaguars. They built their company on an idea that homeowners deserve to be winners. When a home is damaged by severe weather, Roof Claim can identify the damage, work with your insurance company, and help you professionally replace your roof. At Roofclaim, they make protection simple. Visit their website at roofclaim.com to schedule your free drone or in-person inspection.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard Show. 355 NFL1, the number 355-6351. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks after a Jaguars loss to the Patriots, 50-10. 50-10. 8 straight
That
now,
close.
Mike. 8 in a row.
Yeah, another long losing. I mean, and the Colts are going to be heavy favorites coming in next week as well, so you could have another long losing streak to live with throughout the offseason.
And, Bucky, the Colts need the game to get to the playoffs next week.
Yeah, they dropped one today against the Vegas Raiders, and so I don't know if that should give the Jaguars more confidence or they should be prepared for an onslaught, much like the Patriots put on them today. Regardless, it's one game. I think the Jaguars are kind of solidified to be the number one overall pick in the draft, and so if that is the case, it's one of those where, man, you just let it rip. All the trick plays, all the fun stuff, all the gimmicks and gadgets and whatever you have in the bag. I mean, you let those go, and you try and find a way to finish the season off on the positive with a win that make you feel at least better that you're able to finish the season on a high.
Yeah, Jags could still fall to the second pick if Detroit loses out and the Jags were to win in Week 17, but not looking like that's likely for the Jaguars right now. Detroit trailing Seattle 17-6 at the moment. All right, let's go back to the phone lines at 355 NFL1 and talk to Butch on the west side next up here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Butch.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I just want to say if Trevor Lawrence really wants to be a good quarterback, he better get his hair cut.
Okay, good one, Butch.
Wow.
That's amazing commentary.
So this is what happens at the end of the year when it
Apparently.
goes around.
Yeah.
We get the
people still
the
celebrating New
ding-dongs.
Year's, man.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
All right, got to get his hair cut. All right, let's move on to John on the north side. Excellent commentary we're getting here. John, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead.
Hey, fellas. Love your show.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for the call.
I just want to say that Trevor is going to be fine. He seems very mature, and he will weather the storm. But they got a real taste of playing a real football team today. And now they know that's the level that they need to play at to be competitive. And it's kind of like this car I had. It had a high performance engine, but it had so many bad parts on it that I had to completely rebuild the whole car to make it run down the road right. So that's kind of my outlook on the status of this team right now.
All right, John, appreciate it.
Trevor's the engine.
Right. Well,
You
needs
gotta
a lot of parts around him here.
Yeah.
Bucky, I feel like there have been plenty of learning examples. I mean, not to the tune of a 40-point blowout, but they've had plenty of opportunity to see how a better team performs because they've lost almost all their games this year. You know what I mean? There are a lot of guys that have been here for the last 2 years that have seen this. I don't know if you necessarily learn anything from getting your butt handled by 40, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
Well, the only thing that I would say that you can learn is obviously when you're a player, you look across the sideline, you see Bill Belichick, you know that he has won 6 Super Bowls with that franchise that he's coaching. You play against a team and you see how buttoned up the New England Patriots are. You see low level of penalties, high level of execution. You see a rookie quarterback leading a team that wins games and how he performs and those things. So I do believe that there is something that you can gain from playing in those games and seeing what it should look like. And I think the people that will take that away will be like Trevor Lawrence and some of the guys who will be tasked with being leaders of the team. they certainly would notice, like, man, this team is really efficient. They don't really beat themselves.
Right.
Maybe we need to understand what it looks like to dot the I's and cross the T's and put ourselves in a situation where, hey, man, we can win games if we don't lose them. Right now, we talked about it every week. We've seen more things where the Jaguars have lost games because of their self-inflicted mistakes or whatever, then the other team has flat out whipped them like they got whipped today.
All right, hey, John, we appreciate the call. Let's get one more in here before the next break, and that's all the way out to Denver. Tunde checking in here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Tunde.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
All right, what's up?
Good.
Good, man. Happy New Year's. Obviously, today's game was a little rough to watch, but, it is what it is. I would say, what do you guys think of the likelihood of someone like Byron Leftwich or Eric Bieniemy being paired with someone like Caldwell as maybe their assistant head coach, someone who can help them, really take the reins and learn how to do things at a high level and bring stability and kind of calm some of that outside noise? And then also, who are you guys looking at as receiver in the first round?
Ooh, first round.
No one. If they're picking first overall, I don't think anybody's taking a receiver number one overall, Bucky. But
I will say Hutchinson took a step back after this weekend too.
He was blocked. He was single blocked all game long, at least as much as I could stand to watch it. But Bucky, any commentary on what you heard right there?
A couple things. Like, you want to make sure that we judge Hutchinson on his full body of work, but yes, the dogs put their paws on him, and it didn't look great. The other issue, though, when you compare him to Thibodeau is undersized, and he has moments where he's been put up with like that. And so the debate will be at number one if the Jaguars are number one. Do you want the guy who has the higher floor or the guy who has the higher ceiling? In the past, the Jaguars have opted for the higher ceiling, and most guys haven't got to the ceiling. So you just have to see. A lot of it depends on who you have coaching you. When it comes to the coaching situation, I don't know if you're buying Leftwich and Eric Bieniemy, are you going to leave to then kind of serve as an apprentice to somebody else? They already are kind of serving in those capacities at their respective spots. I don't know if they leave for that. I think if they leave to come to Jacksonville, they have to come to Jacksonville as the guy.
I almost felt like
the only way you get them to come.
I felt like Tunde was suggesting the opposite. Like, you bring in let's say it's Byron Leftwich, and Jim Caldwell is then the kind of the assistant head coach who shows you the ropes of.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like Byron would be the ultimate decision maker.
Yeah. Now that makes sense, and in fact, that is what Brian Flores wanted to do with Caldwell before he had some health issues down in Miami. I do believe there is value to what I call the old man in the barbershop being on the staff, the old man who is not trying to be the head coach anymore, but he is willing to offer brutal, honest takes. He's able to offer sage advice and wisdom. There is definitely some value to that, particularly when you're a first-time head coach. You see a lot of first-time head coaches hire guys who have been head coaches before, and they put them in that role to give them those nuggets and to have them maybe help them in some situations by giving them a different perspective when it comes to making decisions about how to govern the team.
Plenty ahead, about a half hour to go, and more of your calls when we return. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351, the number. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com. The Land Rover Defender story began with the simple thought of creating an exceptionally capable off-road vehicle, becoming the go-anywhere, do-anything all-terrain machine. Today, there's a new Land Rover Defender, the toughest and most advanced Land Rover vehicle ever. From the beginning, Land Rover knew the new Defender was capable of great things. Motor Trend's 2021 SUV of the Year is just the latest example. Test drive the new Land Rover Defender today at Land Rover Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard, or go to LandRoverJacksonville.com. Land Rover, above and beyond. Brooks Rehabilitation is looking for exceptional nurses who want to work where miracles happen. They're hiring for RN, LPN, HHA, and CNA positions across their inpatient, skilled nursing, and home healthcare settings. Brooks nurses serve as leaders, advocates, change agents, and care coordinators for their patients. They offer flexible schedules, career advancements, and continuing education, competitive pay, plus bonuses, shift premiums, and sign-on bonuses. Apply now at brooksrehab.org/nurse careers.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Fans like you have been told that going all out is going too far. But fans like you know better. You're the kind of fan who loves the team as much as your pet. Who paints yourself for game days and dyes your pet's fur to match. Who bleeds the team's colors and buys your pet team-branded everything. Who plans every game day watch party for fellow sports lovers and their beloved pets, of course. You are a rare breed. You are a pet fanatic. Equal parts pet obsessed and die-hard sports fan. At Pet Paradise, they're crazy about pets too. That's why pet fanatics take their pets to Pet Paradise, the official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they're ready to go all out for your pet. Pet Paradise, it's a new day in pet care.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. The Scoreboard Show rolls along. 355 NFL 1, 355-6351. We're here until 6 o'clock. The fifth quarter coming up at the top of the hour. Jaguars fall 50-10 to the New England Patriots.
Yes, they do.
There's one more game left.
Yeah. I think most Jaguar fans are saying, fortunately, there's just one more game left. And
some might have not even thought about games being left.
Maybe not.
After everything going on outside the building.
Hit the reset button once again. Let's go back to the lines at 355 NFL 1. Alan on the south side is next on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Alan.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Okay, what's up?
Hey, luckily I didn't watch the whole debacle. I caught a bit of it, but, just looking at the team itself, man, being a longtime Jags fan, the current situation, at this point, they got to pretty much, start from the ground up. If that means them, hiring a new GM to, begin a fresh start, new vision, new direction for the team, that may be the case. At least pair someone up with Trevor that can guide him in the right direction, get his confidence up. Maybe that's Byron Leftwich. Who knows? But I guess I'd like to ask, Bucky, both you guys, given the current situation, a lot of this falls on Shad Khan to a certain extent because he was the one that hired Urban. But looking at this current situation as an owner, do you go with an offensive-minded coach, defensive-minded coach? I know Tom Bowles has been mentioned. I know they interviewed Jim Caldwell. They interviewed Peterson, who was coaching at Philadelphia. But we know how that situation ended. But just wanted to get my take on it. But they got to start from the beginning. Just for one, have a direct vision of where they want to go with this team, and a solid foundation to build around, especially for Trevor's case. But just wanted to say that and let you guys take over.
All right. Thank you, Alan. Bucky, does it matter to you, offensive coach, defensive coach, and at least in terms of their primary lean, whether it's an OC or a former DC or whatever the case?
No, because I think great coaches can come from any background. I mean, you look at what John Harbaugh has been able to do in Baltimore. He was a special teams coach. He's been great. I think the one thing, and it's really hard to figure out and discover in interviews, does the guy have the sauce to get it right? Does he not only have a plan, but does he have the combination of intelligence and resiliency to see the plan through when it may not start out the way that he wants it to. It takes someone really special to orchestrate a turnaround. And the turnaround in Jacksonville is not just, oh, they had a season or two that's bad. You're talking about like a decade-long run of failure. And so to think about that, that person needs to come in and from the top to the bottom, I mean, not only just the football side, he has to galvanize everybody on the business side, everybody in the organization that going forward, things are going to change. And he not only has to give those words, his words have to be followed by action. And we all associated with the Jaguars have to be able to trust that he has a plan to get it done. And so that's why I think this has to be an exhaustive process that takes a lot of time to make sure they get the right guy. It is more about leadership than X's and O's. And I know we kind of said that with the last guy, but it really is about the leadership when it comes to it. The X's and O's part is the easy part.
Just one more on that front. I know we talked about this a little bit last week, but how much would you weigh having head coaching experience when you're looking for a guy who's a proven leader?
I think it has to be significant because I think the hard thing to do in this league is to learn on the job, particularly in a situation like Jacksonville. I kind of feel like you need to have some scuffs and some scars from doing it before and then being able to know, okay, I've learned from those previous missteps. I now know how to clearly get it done. Now, that may shrink the pool a little bit, but there are enough of those guys who kind of sat in that big seat and done it that I would be willing to look at those guys first. I wouldn't discount someone who doesn't have it, but man, you saw, I mean, Urban is Urban, and he had been a head coach before, but the league is such a different animal. You kind of want to be able to figure out some of those things so you can hit the ground running. Because remember, you're also working with Trevor Lawrence's clock, and that's kind of like the elephant in the room. He has 3 more years left on that rookie deal before you really have to make a decision. You kind of want to make sure that you have someone who can orchestrate change before we get to the end of that clock.
All right, thank you for the call there, Alan. As we head out to California, next up on the Scoreboard Show is Victor. Hello, Victor.
Hi, how you guys doing today?
Okay, what's
Great,
up?
Great.
I was calling two things. One, everybody's mentioned the general manager. I think 2 people that I haven't even heard mentioned is Louis Riddick, that does Monday night. He'd be a great person to bring in to interview for the general manager job. And also Reggie McKenzie, who used to be in Green Bay and then he went to the Raiders. He did a great job turning the Raiders turning the Raiders around with theirs. And then bringing 2 general managers in like that. Also, too, Eric Bieniemy has been even mentioned in the conversation for as a head coach interview. You guys want to mention something about that?
Thanks for the call. Wasn't Bieniemy part of the process last year?
Yeah, he interviewed here last year.
That's right.
My feeling is when you've got 8 named candidates and he's not one of them, they probably were not all that impressed with the interview is my guess. But I can't, obviously speak for Shad Khan on that front. Bucky, do you have – I mean, it's tough to start going through candidates when you don't even know if the job's going to be open. We know the head coaching job is open, but how do you feel about potential GM candidates on the horizon?
Well, what I'll say about the Eric Bieniemy thing is you guys are right. He did interview last year, and right now he hasn't been named as one of those 8 guys that they were inquiring about. Now, something might have happened during the interview process where they just don't feel comfortable that he's a right fit. And look, man, that happens. I mean, there's a lid for every pot, and maybe it's not the right pot down in Jacksonville for Eric Bieniemy. As it relates to general manager candidates, I mean, you don't know because right now Balky's in place. I will say, like with Lewis, having played with Lewis in Oakland, with the Raiders, having been around him and having listened to him and on Monday Night Football, he certainly knows a lot. But I will say this, because I live it, like it's a lot different when you're speculating and doing things on TV as opposed to when you're having to do them and there's a level of accountability when it comes into building the thing. And so, once again, I would say experience matters. I don't know if you want to kind of mess around with people who haven't necessarily done it at a higher level, personnel director, assistant general manager, things like that, where you've been close to being the ultimate authority and decision maker. You just want to be careful with that. With Reggie McKenzie, I'll say with Reggie, our history goes all the way back to when I was in Green Bay. He worked up under Ron Wolf. Ron Wolf is a direct descendant of Al Davis and the way that they build teams. And so he certainly has a good eye for talent. I don't know where he got sideways at the end of his tenure with the Raiders. John Gruden came over and had some power. He's certainly one that you want to talk to. But ultimately, I think this is one where Shad Khan has to make a decision on what does he want the franchise to look like. And then once he makes that determination on the vision of the franchise, he has to hire the right people that can make that vision come to life.
All right, Victor, thank you for the call. Let's get Riley in Jacksonville Beach up next here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Riley.
Hey, guys. I appreciate you taking my call. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I just kind of want to call in and talk about kind of what Bucky was just saying about, Shad Khan really having to, hire the right guy. It just seems like when are we going to kind of call for more accountability from his standpoint, and the fact that it's been a decade, a little bit over a decade of just bad calls over and over again on different people, and now he's like potentially retaining Trent Baalke as GM, which doesn't make sense. And the fact that everywhere he's gone, there's been multiple reports of him, ousting Jim Harbaugh. Last year Dave Caldwell. The leaks probably happened from him with Urban this year to just terrible records everywhere he's gone. He doesn't have a great reputation around the league, which I'm pretty sure is pretty well known for everybody, even fans at this point. And I just want to talk about how can Shad Khan really turn and right the ship? How he obviously wants to win, and I think he truly wants the team to be here in Jacksonville. I just don't think he knows what to do. And I think Tony, Khan, would actually be a good person to get into the door. And actually, if he was here on a more day-to-day operations, I know he probably won't do that with AEW right now. But I just want to hear y'all's take on what you think Shad should actually do to hire somebody to be, here more on a day-to-day that knows exactly what they're doing in that football operations.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate that. Well, Bucky, first of all, there's still a general manager right now.
Right.
So Trent Baalke is the GM at the moment.
He is the GM at the moment, and we have to treat him with the respect that he deserves as being the general manager. What I will say is, in terms of Shad Khan's process, I think what has happened is he's certainly been advised by people to kind of follow the blueprint that has been maybe one of the most successful in the league, which is lots of stability, giving people time, exhibiting enough patience to let people follow it through. When you look at some of the blue blood organizations, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Green Bay Packers, there traditionally is a lot of stability because you don't make snap judgments in those things. And so while his patience is certainly laudable, I think the issue has been not getting the right guys. And so the way that he goes about it is perfect because he's kind of hands off. He kind of lets you do your job. You have plenty of time to put out the plan. But right now, the right people haven't been entrusted with the plan. Now, that part of it, I can't speak to. I can't tell you, how should he make his decision on who to pick? He's been very successful in business. And so some of those instincts and gut beliefs and those things kind of weigh into it. But it can't hurt to have more football people around the program to be able to kind of keep this ship kind of going in the right direction.
Buck, I think it's interesting. Everyone talks about Shad Khan has not made the right hires, which clearly the results speak for themselves in terms of the one-loss record. But everyone assumes that if he were to hire a football czar, that he'd make the right hire in that capacity. What if he picks the wrong football czar? And you know what I mean? I mean, there's no guarantee that now you're adding another layer into the process. Look, I'm all for it if it's the right guy. I don't know who that guy. I mean, I've thrown Tony Dungy's name out there like anybody with half a brain would, but I don't know who that guy would necessarily be that would kind of run your football operations.
Well, okay, so for instance, I would say what you want to do is you want to at least pick up the phone and call a guy like a Ozzie Newsome, right? Ozzie Newsome is not necessarily in the stage of his career where he may want to run it day to day, but maybe he kind of wants to be around it, and maybe he can be kind of like the wise old man that's around the building that knows what it looks like and can give advice to a younger czar to teach him hey, here's what it looks like. Here's how it should be done. Those are the things that you want to do. Very similar to, it's kind of the role that they attempted to do with Coach Coughlin, but Coach Coughlin wasn't necessarily ready to be done coaching when he inherited that. And so it's trying to find that that delicate balance of someone who is around the game enough to know what it should look like in today's game, but who also wants to be kind of hands off and away from it. And so that's difficult to find because there are a ton of great football people out there, but who is the right fit for the organization? We've had a very, very tough time really finding that.
Yeah, I love the idea of Ozzie Newsome. He's already serving in that capacity with the Ravens, so he works for them as like an unofficial advisor.
Mm-hmm.
I could not imagine Ozzie Newsome leaving that capacity with that organization to come here.
Yeah, you know what changes that stuff, Dem? Checks.
Maybe.
Lots of commas and zeros can change people's logo on their shirt. So I think what you have to do is at least inquire, and then maybe he knows somebody who would be in there ready for that role or could do a good job. I think you have to reach out to a ton of different people and have an open mind about rebuilding the organization. That's why it shouldn't be a fast decision. It should be one that is really thought out. Okay, how do these pieces of the puzzle connect so that we can build an A-plus organization? Because that needs to be the thought. It needs to be beyond head coach. It needs to be, I want a premier A-plus first-class organization. How can I get that? What does that look like? That's how it needs to be, not just a single solitary coaching hire, because that won't change it. It has to be beyond a head coach.
We'll take our final timeout and come back with some final thoughts. After a Week 17 Jaguars loss to the New England Patriots, 50-10, the final score. One more week to go in the regular season. One more segment to go in the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
At VyStar Credit Union, you inspire us to deliver on our promise to do good for our members and our communities. That's why we offer more banking options, like better rates and no hidden fees. We also give back, donating several $1 million to hundreds of nonprofits each year. Better financial lives, stronger communities. VyStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better. Visit vystarcu.org/join. Insured by NCUA.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
When it comes to LASIK, your eyes deserve the very best. And that's why more people choose Meta Custom Vision at Florida Eye Specialist. Just ask Andrea Michael.
The surgery itself was a breeze. During the actual procedure, there were no surprises. I felt relaxed and confident in the doctor and staff. Traditionally, I am not a wildly emotional person, but the day after surgery, I was able to see beautifully. And I was noticing and seeing things that I had never even noticed before. The detail was just astounding to me. And I even teared up a little because it was just life-changing that this was my vision now. This is the way I could see without worrying about contacts, without worrying about glasses. I had perfect vision for the first time in over 25 years. And it was a really cool feeling.
Meta Custom Vision at Florida Eye Specialist has the finest, most up-to-date LASIK equipment. Call today, 268-EYES. That's 268-EYES. Find out more at metalaser.com, the official eye care partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. Final moments of the Scoreboard Show. If you didn't get in here, the fifth quarter is coming up at 6 o'clock. Leon Searcy and the Hacker will take your calls. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks here on the Scoreboard Show. The Jaguars are now have dropped 8 in a row, and they're a record of 2-14. And next week they're back home against the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts lost today on a last-second field goal to Las Vegas. So the Colts must win to get in the playoffs next week. They'll have their full assortment, we believe at least, their full assortment of weapons. The Jaguars, who knows what's going to be available coming off the COVID list and everything that happened this past week.
Yeah, who knows what the turnout's going to be like. I mean, look, I think everybody would like to have the season over with, but, for the players, they got to go out there and, Bucky, they need to compete as hard as they possibly can because we all have heard the old saw about, when you get hurt is when you're going half speed. So you got to go out there and you can't think about your vacation plans. And you got to just focus for 60 more minutes of football this year and hopefully get at least a closer result, if not a better result, next week against the Colts.
Yeah, look, you got to play. You got to be pros. You got to put together the best plan for those guys to be successful. And then the guys have to make sure that they take pride in their performance. At the end of the day, it's about signing your name at the end of the performance and letting everyone know that you're a professional, that you played at a high level, and that you can be counted on. And there are a lot of evaluations that will take place, not only by the coaching staff coming in, but the front office and those things. When they think about how can we rebuild this team? How can we get this team to the next level? Everyone is under evaluation, so you got to make sure that you're mindful of that whenever you step between the lines.
So there you have it. The Jaguars fall. They gave up 50 today, nearly 500 yards of offense, and boy, it's one of those. It's a struggle. It has been for weeks, but here we are now with the roster situation, everything going on. The Colts coming in, needing to win next week. 1 o'clock kickoff time. And I'm out of words. I must be honest with you.
Well, there's not much left to say. I mean, about today's performance in particular. Nope. But Bucky, I'll end with this question for you, just about Trevor Lawrence. Is there anything? What would you obviously, presuming he gets through next week healthy? Are you recommending he takes a couple months off, get away from it? Does he need? What is the best approach to hit the reset button going forward after the season ends?
I think the best approach for Trevor is it's customary to probably take a month off, 2 weeks off where you don't do anything. The next 2 weeks you just kind of moving around, and then after about a month you kind of start just kind of getting back to it because you want your body to recover. He's been beat up a little bit. Then you start throwing, and then you kind of begin to get your mind back to thinking about football around March and April. And then with the new coaching staff, though, everything kind of ramps up and is escalated. But, yeah, he needs to take some time to get away from it because it's been taxing not only on his body but on his mind. And then recharge. And then when he recharges, put more on him, see what he can do to take his game to the next level.
So there you have it. Bucky, what do you got coming up this week? Week 18, man.
Last week of the season, trying to figure out what the postseason looks like. Trying to figure out as the world turns down in Jacksonville, like coaching candidates and the like. And then see if we can cap it off next week with a win over the Colts.
That would be nice. I will talk to you on Wednesday for Huddle Up in the afternoon.
Hey, it should be good. Have fun. Talk to you, JP.
Thanks, Buck. All right.
See you later, Mike.
Bucky Brooks, NFL Network analyst, joins us every Wednesday afternoon on Jaguars.com. Mike, you got Jaguars today, tomorrow.
Full week, JP.
A full week?
We're back to 5 days this week. The holidays are over with. We're going to dig into it 5 separate times this week from 10 to noon here on 1010XL Radio in Jacksonville, Florida.
We'll have Jags Drive Time tomorrow morning on Jaguars.com and Jags social media. Then 4 to 6 tomorrow on 1010XL AM. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. Tony Vaselli and Pete Prisco will dissect this one, of course, and hear what Pete has to say and get Tony's thoughts. It's also always a fun combination on Monday afternoons. And then, of course, Tuesday, it's the final Jaguars Coaches Show of the season. It will be the last show, Tuesday afternoon. That's at 5 o'clock on the Jaguars Radio Network. Jags Happy Hour before that, and Huddle Up on Wednesday. And then here we go. One more week to go. 1 o'clock kickoff time next week. at TIAA Bank Field as the Jaguars entertain the Indianapolis Colts. And we'll see what happens with the COVID list starting next week, starting tomorrow. Yeah, Darrell Bevel will be scheduled at least at some point to speak with the media tomorrow. We'll get the latest update from the Jaguars interim head coach then. That'll do it for our show today. Our thanks to Tony Smith, doing literally everything today. The nice guy who answered the phones. And he pushed all the buttons today on the audio side. Gabby Dalton on the video side. For our entire crew, Bucky Brooks, Mike Dempsey, I'm JP Shadrick. Thank you for listening. Final score for the final time in week number 17. Patriots 50, Jaguars 10. This has been the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.